sometimes the truth is contrary. Everything in life you thought you knew. All I know is that sometimes you have to be wary of a miracle too good to be true. All I know is that sometimes the truth is contrary, 'cause sometimes the target is you.
Hi, this is David Wright, and you're listening to WICR.
Well, we're back.
We are back.
David Wright telling y'all who you're listening to.
Surprisingly, not in studio. I don't know how he did that.
No, that's magic.
How do you do that?
Magic
Magic
like
of America.
Pre-record it.
Only in America. Only in America.
Only in America.
So we'll have our news update of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So today's the home opener for the New York Yankees. And
we're all thrilled.
Grimacing Boston Red Sox fan behind me. But yeah, today's the home opener for the Yankees, and they're going to start off a 9-day homestead.
Just give them the division.
Hey, listen, we're playing Boston for 4 straight games. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's gonna be good. It's always a good series. It's always a long game, 4-hour game. So it's a good 16 hours of baseball we got lined up,
as opposed to those short, quick, fun baseball games.
Yes, but I'm just saying the Red Sox Yankees games are notoriously slow. But hey, it's so funny because I can never think of someone outside of the rivalry. Like I never think of them, like and how boring boring it must be for them. That this is the rivalry everyone talks about. Yeah. It's so East. It's so East Coast. If you're like a Dodgers, if you're like a A's fan, you're probably like, I hate people talking about the Red Sox and I know. And Yankees all the time.
And I mean, it hasn't even been like a rivalry as of late. I mean, like I remember, the
last couple of years, it's like one team's been good and the other team's decent, and then the other team, the other team's been, bad. It's been like at least the last couple of years, like.
And I mean, there's really been no like bad blood, There's like I remember, I think we've all remembered like seeing Don Zimmer get, his head thrown on the floor by Pedro.
The Veritek A-Rod.
The Veritek A-Rod thing.
That was great. Those are great times, man.
I mean, like I remember, I was like maybe like 12 years old at that time, but it's like I remember like that was Boston Yankees. Like that was just,
You know what it is though? I think it's that the Red Sox we won the World Series. And honestly, that's really what changed it. It's like it's almost like that big brother, little brother kind of thing. You know, it's like always pushing them down. It's like, oh no, this year we're gonna prove that it's our time to shine, and the big brother would just not push them down. And now it's almost like they've come of age. You know, the Red Sox, and it's like, oh, we won finally. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Hold it over like, oh yeah, you won this many championships more. It's like, doesn't matter. We've won more recently than you. You know, that kind of deal. You know, and it's like, I just feel that there's not that much rivalry. If one team was like kind of bad for a little while, then I'm sure. Let's all hope it's the Yankees. But no.
Well, I mean, the Yankees haven't really been relevant since they won back in 2009. So, I mean, it's not really like, they make the postseason, and then they lose to the Tigers every year. So it's not really a big deal.
I mean, and it's just weird. I mean, the Red Sox went from like last or close to last in the division the year before, last. Well, I mean, and then they won it last year.
I was thinking about this to myself, like how bad must Bobby Valentine feel, to have the exact same team that won a championship a year before, and you're just tank the entire year. It's incredible.
It kind of shows you how terrible of a manager Bobby Valentine really is. At least now, like I feel bad. I felt like people were like, "Oh, I think it's pretty good." I mean, I even had Yankee fans say it's probably actually a really good hire to hire Valentine. My concern was that Valentine was out of the game too long, and you can make arguments because Buck Showalter was out of the game for a long time on ESPN, and he's done a fantastic job at the Orioles, like absolutely fantastic. They're right in the mix every single time now. I actually like the Buck Showalter Orioles. Like, I think they're a really good team. They're a very, very solid team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's a 4-horse race this year in the AL East. I mean,
you can make the argument that every team,
each team could do it. I mean,
maybe not the Blue Jays.
Probably the dark horse would be the Orioles to win it. But you could see the Orioles, get in second place like they did the other year.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess it's just because I'm so used to Tampa being bad. I just can't get used to them. They used to be so bad. I mean, people forget. I mean, they've been really good compared to what they used to be the last like 4 or 5 years, maybe even a little bit less than that. But I'm so used to the Devil Rays just not being. Oh, I can't even say that. Actually, I'm not supposed to say Devil Rays.
They're just the Rays.
Yeah, they're just Rays. It's weird that it's really weird noises coming from me. They are actually have to be thought about now. It's like when before it'd be like, okay, we're gonna beat the Blue Jays, and you're gonna beat the Blue Jays, Orioles, and Tampa every time, or like one of those teams would be the spoiler of the Red Sox or the Yankees, but none of them would like compete for actually winning the division. And now you have to like actually contemplate who's gonna come out of this thing. In other divisions, I guess the NL East, I mean, I think it's the Braves and Nationals this year. The Nationals were very, very disappointing last year. I remember coming into the year this last year, a lot of people had the Red Sox and they had Nationals in the World Series as the preseason pick, and the Nationals their bullpen was awful, and they couldn't provide run support for their pitching rotation is really good. It's they've got Gonzalez, they have Strasburg, and then they have Zimmerman, who it's not the third baseman, it's a different Zimmerman, and they're all just like solid pitchers, like a solid 3-man rotation at least, and their bullpen is like god awful. It's so bad. There was one guy who came in, I don't know, I always forget his last name. I always forget his name. He has these sports glasses that he wears. It's like Oakley's, but they're just like regular glasses. It's really weird. I hate those glasses. And he would come in, and every single time I'm like, he's gonna give up a home run, and I would call it every time. My dad and I would watch the game because my dad's a Red Sox fan, kind of grew up a Red Sox fan, but he kind of faded out a little bit, and the Nationals being good kind of brought him back in to the watching it, because it's like a local team, he can pay attention to it. It's something to talk about at work, and so the Nationals kind of brought him back into baseball, so that's kind of why I root for them a little bit now. And last year they were just awful, like with maintaining leads, and I think this year they're going to turn it around. I think they're going to be really, really good. The division was kind of handed to the Braves last year. I don't think the Mets are good. And I felt so bad for David Wright. Like a few weeks ago, he was on on the news, and they were saying, he was like, he was like, I have a really good feeling about this team this year, and he's just trying to, you could just tell he was like picking and choosing his words to like try to stay positive and like hoping things would go their way this year, and you're just like, oh man, David Wright, he's such a good, classy player.
He's a good guy,
and as much as like I don't think it would happen, I just feel like he has to go. Like, I think he deserves to be on like a winning team.
It's like, catching an animal in the wild and like holding him hostage. Like, you just gotta let him go. Let David Wright play for a good team.
Good solid team.
Is it good for the Mets? Do they need a face? Do they need a face of the organization? Of course, but
New York just needs that in general.
Jeter's gonna be on his way out. I mean, he's good for the Mets. He's good for New York, but the Mets just aren't good. Let the guy deserves at least one point in his career to be in a playoff game. I think he only played in a playoff game once, and the Mets lost in the first round.
Yeah, playoff round.
Or second round. Yeah, I mean it's.
No, I think he's been in a couple. Like I think he might have been around for the time, so they've been to a few. We'll fact check it.
We'll fact check. I mean, he wasn't around for the World Series.
No.
I think he was around like when the Mets were like doing the professional chokes when they were. I think they made the playoffs once or twice.
Yeah,
they lost to the Cardinals.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he was definitely on that team.
Yeah,
but it's just like they're just so bad, and the Marlins will be bad this year again. The Miami Marlins,
Funny story about the Marlins, real quick. I have a bunch of family lives in Florida, and they always tell me, they go to the Marlins games, and they give away tickets. They give away tickets, and this stadium, the Marlins Stadium, is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
it's really nice. Like they just built it.
Yeah,
they just built it. It was a huge project, cost like millions of dollars, and they're at the point where they're giving away tickets because no one's going to the game.
Yeah, no, but because they're god awful. And they tried to assemble a team kind of last minute with I think it was Ozzie Guillen as the manager, and they tried to like I remember some analysts were like, this team actually might be good if they can get it together, and they were just they were awful. They were really, really bad, and they're going to be bad because you know why? Every single time they win the World Series, they go as a wild card, and then their owner disassembles the team because it's too much to keep together. What it really isn't. He just wants more money. He doesn't want to give away money, which is awful.
He built it with tax dollars.
How can you be a fan of a baseball team where you just know that any single time they start winning, they're going to be disassembled? Like, I just couldn't do that. Phillies, I don't really know about the Phillies honestly this year. Last year they were bad. Roy Halladay wasn't looking good last year. He kind of started coming back to earth.
So here, let's do this. Let's go through each division.
Yeah,
and let's pick our early season winners for every division.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do this.
And we'll see how they're doing.
So we'll do the East first.
Yeah, we'll do all ALs.
We'll do all ALs.
And then we'll do
NLs. Okay. So who do you like out of the East?
I'm gonna say the Red Sox just because they won this World Series last year. Same team from last year. Like, I could see the Yankees coming in and making a difference.
Yeah.
They definitely have something to prove after last year was disappointing, and you can't really have 2 seasons in a row like that. But I really do think it's between the Red Sox and the Yankees, and I think both will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I just think the Red Sox will win the division.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that Boston's gonna win. So both agree in the East.
Yeah.
So let's move over to the Central now. I like Detroit.
Yeah, the Tigers are going to do it.
I like Detroit. I actually like Detroit going to the World Series.
Detroit, they're a solid team. They just gave Cabrera a huge contract.
$800 million 40-year deal.
A little bit of a different team this year, though.
They lose their coach.
Yeah, they lost their coach.
They looks a lot like my grandpa, so it's kind of funny.
And who else? They lost, what's his name? Cecil Fielder's kid.
Prince Fielder.
Yeah, Prince Fielder is gone.
Texas.
He's in Texas, and they got who they get? Delman Young or something. They got
Delman. Oh no, they got
second baseman.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. This is awful. That we don't know their names. We should honestly look them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the Tigers winning. The Indians kind of gave a late push. What's his name? Is the
Terry Francona.
Terry Francona is
he's a cool coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach, and he kind of took the fall for the Red Sox thing when they imploded a couple years ago, and that's how Valentine got hired. And I just think, honestly, the fact that happened to him, I just thought was just inexcusable by fans and of our team and everything like that. It's like the guy made the Red Sox.
Yeah, he revitalized the whole organization.
And yes, they probably got a little bit too relaxed in the clubhouse, but I would be really happy to see the Indians go. In the West is going to be tough.
I see. I like Oakland out of the West.
Yeah, I did too. I like Oakland. The Mariners got Cano. Are they going to make a difference? They're 4-2 right now. Off to a good start. It's really early right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Astros are 3-3. You know that's a clear sign.
Awful.
It's anyone.
Yeah, the Angels should be a lot better than they are. They've got.
I think that they're just after this year they're going to drop. They're gonna drop their coach, Mike Scioscia.
Yeah,
they gotta move.
They need to make some changes. Yeah, they've got too many big players on that team, and they're not performing well enough. It's really weird. The NL East. I'm gonna go to the Nationals. I think they rebound this year. The Braves are always in it.
Yeah, I think it.
I definitely between those two teams, Nationals are going. What about the NL Central? The NL Central's tough this year.
I like St. Louis still. I mean, I still think it's St. Louis's division to lose. Pittsburgh made a splash last year,
and so did the Reds. The Reds are always there. I mean, the Reds are struggling right now, but the Reds are like they're always hanging around there. And the Brewers too. I mean, almost every team except for the Cubs.
Poor Cubs.
Yeah,
poor Cubs.
They're so awful.
It's just like you feel so bad for them because when Lou Piniella was there, it was like, oh, here we go. They had a really good record.
Yeah,
and this is it. Waited 100 years, then this tanked after that.
Well, let's see what Theo Epstein does. Yeah. If he can do it, then he can do it. But they're gonna need a lot of time. I guess I go with the Cardinals. I'll go with the Cardinals, but I would like to see the Pirates to finally.
I am so sick of St. Louis.
Yeah, they're a boring team.
I have the.
You know what? No offense to Jason Mott though. Jason Mott, Iona grad. He won rings.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah,
St. Louis is in there all the time.
You know the thing is too, like St. Louis, and I know it's like hard to say. You could always make the argument every baseball game's like this, but St. Louis they're just a boring team to me. They're solid.
They're the Spurs of the MLB.
They are exactly that. They are the Spurs of the MLB. In the West.
I still like the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are a great team, and the Giants too. Though the Giants are such a good team.
Yeah. I mean,
they're just really well coached. They're a really solid team.
Yeah, I mean, I look at that division. I say, I think the Dodgers are going to win that division, and I think San Francisco's going to get the wild card. I mean, I think it's good. The wild card, two wild card teams, I think, and we'll go wild cards too. I think that. So we pretty much agreed on everything, Yeah,
I would honestly say the only difference we'd have, I'll pick the Giants over the Dodgers.
Yeah.
For the division, but I will give the wild card to the Dodgers. So, that's gonna be a tough race though, man.
That's gonna be crazy. All right, so your early season World Series preview. Who do you like?
I got Boston Nationals.
Boston Nationals.
Well, not the Boston. Red Sox Nationals.
The Boston Nationals.
The Boston Nationals. I want to see that one. I'm going purely on heart and a hunch, but and honestly that would just be a very good thing for me and my family.
Yeah. So it's like either way,
it's a win-win for my dad. I'd probably go. I would say that. If the Red Sox were out of it, like if I can't choose teams that I like. I'd probably go with the Tigers and maybe the Dodgers. We'll go classic teams.
Yeah, that was actually my picks is our Tigers and Dodgers. I think that, and I would love to see Don Mattingly win. Just being a Yankee fan. Growing up as a Yankee fan. And. Poor Don, who was
I was gonna ask you about that too. Like, it's so funny because like he's regarded as one of the greatest, but during one of the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's and as soon as he leaves, you bring in Tino Martinez, and they start the dynasty. Just emerges. He's one of those players that I would love to see. Even if he never won a World Series as a player, he has a successful career as a coach. I would love for him to win at least a title or two.
He kind of do like a Joe Torre kind of thing. I mean, Joe Torre wasn't even as good as Don Mattingly.
Yeah,
though.
Don Mattingly was a monster.
He was great. Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of our baseball thing.
Yeah. So we'll want to take a quick break.
Yeah, let's take a little quick break, and we'll get back to you guys, and fill you up with a little bit of some stuff going around football and
smorgasbord
too.
A
little smorgasbord of sports through for you.
So, how about some Guns N' Roses?
You know what? What song are you going with?
How about some Paradise City? Because we got this championship game tonight, so you figure they're looking for that Paradise City.
Yeah,
tonight.
they do. Yeah, grass is green and the girls are pretty.
So this is Guns N' Roses.